Hi, I'm Brooke. Welcome to my channel. Today, let's talk about beliefs. What you see, it really depends on what you're allowing yourself either to believe or just even to be open to. I don't think you have to go so far as to like totally go all in and believe, but you do need to open up. So I feel like so many times in life we get fixated on, I know how this thing is. I have experience in this area, and so I know. And then if you know and you're an expert, like you're not going to open up to new possibilities and you're going to miss out, right? And I'm going to share an example from my life, something that happened recently where it was a subject where I thought I knew how it was, not thought I knew the possibilities. And then I opened up a little to new possibility, and something totally new appeared in my reality that was never there before. Now, I think it's something that existed, but I was not able to see it because I had such strong ideas. And it really was like a great moment where I went, huh, this is really how life works. Everything is already here, but you have to be open. And if you really are like tunnel vision on something, you're not going to let yourself see. And this is a great example. It's like so clear. I think at least it's really clear that this thing was clearly there all along, but not for me until I opened up. And I think about there's the popular saying, I'll believe it when I see it. And then like Wayne Dyer did, figured out it's really the opposite. I'll see it when I believe it. And if you're really closed on something, you're not going to see something that's like right in front of your face. And I feel like this story is just like a simple little funny story, or it's just like it's a subject that's not like a huge subject, but I feel like this applies to everything. I talk about this a lot on this channel where it's the same mechanism. Everything really is just the same mechanism. We categorize things as like big or small or important or unimportant, but it's all the same, like from the universe perspective or whatever. It's like all the same stuff. And it's all that same mechanism. You're getting like a tunnel vision and you're just not going to see. It doesn't matter what subject you're talking about. And so I gonna tell you the story and then let's talk about like it applies to the bigger picture. I feel like it applies so much to larger issues. Like people are fighting about all these issues they perceive to be big issues, but I feel like it's the same thing where people are fixated in one direction and then they can't let in other information or things that would be helpful. So that sounds interesting if you're um, maybe there's something you want to change, but you feel like it can't change. Oh, this is the way it is. If you ever hear yourself saying that, like, this is just how it is when it comes to this thing, I do it. I did it. You'll hear in this story. I did it recently. I do it all the time, probably. I don't even realize. But if you hear yourself saying that, like, this is just how it is, what do they say? Check yourself before you wreck yourself because it's bad for your health, to quote Ice Cube, I think. To throw it back a little to Mr. Ice Cube. Um, yeah, you want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you limit yourself. If you're saying things like that, you're closing yourself off. And so in this story, I'm also going to show you how like I gently opened the door. You don't have to go all in and like believe so strongly, but you have to be open. You have to at least believe that there's a possibility. I feel like these are tricky. Like people are like, oh, you have to believe it. You don't have to like all of a sudden change your beliefs so dramatically. Just have to open, say, I believe there's a possibility, and then a possibility will open up. So I'm going to tell you the story. I think you're going to like it, and it's going to shift. a little mindset. I think so. Stay tuned. First, I'm going to tell you a bit about me. I'm a fine art photographer. This is some of my art behind me. I'm in my gallery in Manhattan Beach, California. My art focuses on the simple pleasures, being in the present moment, enjoying what's right in front of you, which is where that present moment, that enjoyment of right now, is where all these magical things can appear, where you can let go of old ideas and open to possibilities, open up to like this infinite now where everything already is and let it in. So if you want a reminder to stay in the present moment, you just want to fill your walls with something pretty, then check out my website. I'm going to put a link in the description. And if you want to talk to me, I'm going to put a link to one-on-one chats. And maybe you need help shifting your perspective a little, opening up to a new possibility. I can help you with that. So let's get into it. So this thing that happened. Okay. So I get my hair highlighted blonde. And I've been doing this a long time in different colors. I've been having some version of hair color for a long time. Okay. Know what I'm doing. I know about the color, I know how it goes on, I know like the general rules, right? And, or at least I thought I knew. So I get it highlighted. So I went to someone new. I like it to be in the beginning, like it highlighted like to the skin, like all go all in, cover up the roots, right? That's what I'm here for, covering up those roots and bright, bright blonde right to the root. So this person, she put on all these highlights. Things seem to be going pretty well. And then she put on what's called like toner at the roots, and it adds pigment, right? So highlights or bleach takes away pigment, and then you can tone it like, there's different kinds of blondes, right? You can have like something a little more golden or frosty or whatever. So she puts this on at the root and then made the root dark. And I'm thinking, shit, I don't want that, right? But in all these years that I've been coloring my hair, my understanding, when you add in color, like you can't, that's it. Like toner is not like it'll fade over time, but like a long time, right? It's the purpose is that it's on there. And you can't just like wash it out. You can't just take it out unless you would have to like strip the hair or you could like add bleach, but she had already bleached my hair. So stripping or bleaching like on top of already doing it would damage the hair, it could be like broken in the front. So I'm like, shit, this is not what I wanted. It's pretty bummed about it. I did say something, but she was like, yeah, there's nothing we can do without like damaging. So, okay, so I go home and I'm like, all right, I believe that I believe in this magical universe, right? And there's infinite realities. And I believe that I could wake up and like it's just all the way I wanted in the morning. But as I was saying that, I could feel that that was a leap for me. I have had things, if you watch this channel, I have had things like appear, disappear. So I know things are possible, but when those things happen, I've never like done it necessarily on purpose, right? Like where there's like this big shift. So I started to think about like waking up, seeing my hair, it was pretty dark at the root and seeing it like bright blonde. And I could tell that I believe it's possible, but I was having a hard time really getting on board because I had that story like, well, toner and it's in there and like I don't know, can I really accept that? I don't know, maybe I'm not there yet. So I could hear that and so I didn't push myself and I was like, okay, I'm open to possibility, right? I'm open to something. So I went to sleep. Oh, here's something that's important. When I got home, I did a Google search for how to get rid of toner. And I've done this before. I mean, this is not my first rodeo. Sometimes there's too much toner, right? And so I've Googled it before, and the only thing that ever comes up is clarifying shampoo, and that doesn't really work. I mean, I wanted it like out. Clarifying shampoo, if you like wash every day with it for a month, like your hair might get a little lighter or whatever, but it's not like gonna like just take it out, right? I've tried it. And there's other like home remedies that, you know, I've never seen anyone say they work, and I'm not doing it. It's like dish soap on your hair or something. Like that's too risky. I'm not doing that. So the only thing I've seen is like clarifying shampoo and some home remedies. And I've tried the clarifying shampoo. It doesn't really do anything noticeable. Or it takes a long time maybe, but even then it's not what I was like really looking for that big change. I was looking for the toner to not be there, right? So Google searched it, went to bed saying I'm open. The morning I wake up and do my thing, and I have this feeling like do another Google search. So I do the same Google search, how to get rid of toner. This time, this product appears. Poof, just this product I've never seen, never heard of. The night before I did a Google search, it did not come up. And it's like this thing, quick fix, like that if you just got your toner done within like 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, you can put this on and it will take the toner off. And then I see there's a beauty supply like a few blocks from my house and it's available there. And I was like, what? Okay. So I go there, I get it, come home, put it on my hair. And I was like kind of nervous. I'm like, is this really gonna work? Am I gonna like, mess up my hair? I mean, because the hair, it didn't look bad. It just wasn't what I wanted. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try this, right? So I put it on my hair and right away I could see the hair is lightening. And, eventually I washed it off. And it was night and day. So I've already grown out a little bit. It's so hard to see because like I'm right under the lights. But I mean, you could see that it's blonde. It's like bright all the way. It's a little bit like if you see it in real life, I can still see, especially on the side, it's like a little darker. But it was like dark at the like it was like dark roots, like all of that was not like this blonde color. It was like a muddy, dark blonde. And and now it's like I would say it went like 80, 90%. Like it's not the same as if it was like perfect from the start and no toner, but it was like almost all the way there. And I was just like, what? This is amazing. What do you mean this thing exists? And how did the hairdressers, they don't know about it? And like, or at least no one I've ever gone to. I mean, the only thing was that I've been told is like there's like harsh stripping things that you can do. And and I did do that once and that was terrible. Like my hair was really damaged. And it didn't damage my hair. It's like the same as it was. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And, it really got me at least most of the way to where I wanted to go. And I thought about it. Like, okay, I did the same Google search last night and then this today, there's something totally different. And for sure, this product existed, right? They didn't like invent it and manufacture it and distribute it like overnight, get it on Google and right. It just like that didn't happen. So clearly it's a product that's been in the marketplace in some universe that I was not in, right? So it existed. So I shifted my perspective. I opened up to possibility. I didn't I didn't get myself to believe, like, oh my God, I have to believe that I could wake up and it will look different. Although I am open, like I'm opening more and more to that you really can move matter in that way. But for now, I needed some kind of process, right? I could accept that there's a product and you go through a process and it's like, oh, I'm within the time frame, like that those steps I could accept. And I did. And it was still like a little touch and go. It was like, is this really going to work? Because I have so many years of experience of like, no, that's you can't, like once you do it, you're stuck, or you got to do stuff and it'll be damaging. And so I thought it was so cool, so interesting. And I like to think about, okay, well, how does everything work? And to me, I opened up. I tried to stretch myself all the way to some end. And I was like, okay, I'm not getting there. And then I was like, okay, but I'm open. I'm open to something new. I'm open to possibility. I can get there where there's got to be something. And then this something appeared. So, and again, it was already there, something that already existed, but it didn't show up for me because how could it show up? Because I was so married to the story that, well, this is the way it is, and you just got to live with it. And, it's a larger story too, I think, at least with me, where you kind of gotta suffer sometimes, sometimes things don't work out, and you just have to deal with it, right? That's a narrative that I have joined in with plenty of times that like I'm working on moving away from that and into things work out, that things have a way of working out. And the more I move into that, the more things do work out. And so I would say pay attention. Is there something? So, okay, this is hair color. It's not the end of the world. But I look out in the world and I see so many people like they're in these ideas. This is right, this is wrong. And it's like, it's the, just going to keep comparing it to my hair because it's the same mechanism. It's like I've been getting my hair highlighted forever. I know how this works. I've Googled how to get rid of toners, the same like few suggestions, and they don't really work. And I know, right? That's really where I was at. And then I was like, come on, this is a magical, mystical world. There's infinite realities. There's a reality where my hair is the color that I prefer. And I really just opened up to somehow there's a possibility here for me. And that's all it took for this to appear. And I think about like Abraham Hicks gives an example of losing your keys. And they talk about, everybody has the experience. You come home, you put your keys on the table, and then you go to get them later, and they're not there. And you're looking everywhere, and the keys are lost. And the keys are, you're telling yourself the keys are lost, and so you can't find them and you know where you put them, but they're not there. And you keep looking in the same place and they're not there. And then what happens? You give up. You go, you know what? They'll turn up or I'll get new keys or whatever. You let go of the story that they're lost. And then all of a sudden you turn around and they're where you were looking the whole time. And so what's going on? There's all these realities, there's all these like the observer effect, the double slit experiment, where the particles appear when they're being observed and then they disappear or go into another dimension, however you want to think about it. They, you are, you're the observer, and whatever the story is, however you're focusing, that's all that could appear in your eye line, let's say, and in your sphere of awareness, acceptance. And so if there are keys and they're defined as lost, that's it. They're lost. You're not going to find something that's lost. Those are opposites. You have to let go of the story of lost and just, well, somehow I'm going to have keys, right? What either I'll hire someone to make a new key, the ones will show up, something's going to happen. I give up the story of lost and I move into the story of somewhere for me in this world, there's keys, right? You like just let go, and then all of a sudden they appear. So they're simultaneously there and not there. And however you want to think about it, like they move in and out of dimensions or timelines, or yeah, I think those are good ways to see it. And it's like that's or like I almost see reality sometimes it's like all these like sort of shifting pl like plates or planes. And, if you're here, if the keys are lost, you're kind of over, maybe you're circling over here and the keys are here, right? But if you're like, they're lost, they're lost, they're lost, and then you go, you know what, actually, they're going to turn up. Like all of a sudden now you're back in alignment with this plane of existence. You just kind of like land on it. And then you're like, oh, here they are, right? You have to get into the reality, the realm, the dimension, the space where they're defined as being able to exist in your perception. So the same thing, like with the hair, I had a story. Yeah, this is the way it is. Meanwhile, there's this product, has to have at least been around for a few years, right? I'm guessing, and never appeared to me before, and never, not even the night before. And then the next day it shows up. And I feel like it's the same thing with like big world events. Well, how could this group of people is so wrong and terrible or whatever? And that's it. If you're painting them, whoever, there's a million ways that you could fill in that category. If you're painting them this way, that's it. Like they'll never be different in your reality. You can't possibly see another perspective. And there's no exception. There's no exception to this. Everything has m many facets to it. Every person, every organization, every object, everything, every topic has all these perceptions, dimensions, facets, however, whatever word you want to use. There's so much going on. And if you have told such a strong story that like it can't be another way than this, then that's it. There you go. That's where you're at. And I guess the question is, do you like it there? Does it feel good? If it feels good, great, keep going. But if it feels like you're looking at something you don't like, and it feels really, shitty, and you feel like there's nothing that can be done. How can this be different? You don't have to figure out how it can be different. Just have to say, I'm open. I'm open to something. I know this is a multidimensional plane of existence. There's infinity. There's something out there. There's some other perspective. In fact, there's many other perspectives. There's many things that could happen that I can't even conceive of yet, but I'm open. And I believe this is how it works. I've experienced this so many times. This to me was a really fun way because I really had that story a long time. And I wouldn't have imagined that, I don't know, I just knew that, oh, it's either you stuck with it or you're going to damage your hair, right? That was the world I was living in. And then boop, something just showed up. I lined up with something. I opened up. I opened up my perception. I said, show me something, show me more. And I was genuinely open. I think some of the other things we do, if we're really emotionally committed to something, sometimes you might say it and not mean it. Show me something, but also these people are terrible and I can never see them another way. I'm laughing because we all do it, right? Um, so can you get yourself into a softer space, into a space that's open? Have you done this before? Please share. If you do it now, after, if there's a topic where you notice like you really have like a tunnel vision on it, and you try this, is there something that appears? And let it be okay if it's like a little something. Like, let's say it's a big topic that you feel really passionate about, but you do want to see some change in that area. Let yourself, even if there's like a small shift, maybe there's one little difference, one little surprise. Maybe it didn't fix the whole problem, but could it be like maybe that's breaking the barriers down a little bit for you? Look, with my hair, it didn't, I mean, you can still see that's like a little tiny bit dark on that side, but it's so much better. It was enough. It got me so far from where I was. As far as I'm concerned, it's like a miracle. So I'm taking it, and I want to eventually be someone who can be like, oh, this isn't the right color. I'm gonna go to sleep and wake up and it will be the one I wanted. And like be able to just do that. Right? Like I'm in, like I want that, right? I want to learn that kind of level of mastery. In the meantime, this is what I can work with, where I go, there's no product tonight, and tomorrow I wake up and there's a product. Great. Okay. I can take that step, right? So you let yourself be open to, because even like, so with the product, like I looked at it for a while, I kind of like looked at the Google search. I looked at, there were like videos all of a sudden, like hairdressers on TikTok talking about it. Took me, even when I bought it, even when I put it on my hair, I was like, dude, is this really gonna work? I was hesitating, but curious, open enough. Like, how can you open even just a little bit? Can you see one little shift? And I feel like life is so much more fun when you can shift and maybe start with something silly like hair, something that's not like the end of the world. And then maybe put it out there to like larger topics and see if you can shift. Or maybe like s- you think, oh, I know this person personally and they're never going to change, or whatever you might hear yourself saying. Can you hear that and then say, I'm open to some change? Maybe they can change, or maybe I can change. Like, not in a way where you're cheating yourself out of, your fullness, but just can you maybe I can shift my perspective. Maybe I have a new perspective in me that I don't realize. Any small shift, and then notice if even the tiniest thing changes. And it's super fun. I mean, I've done that with people that I've known my whole life, and all of a sudden they start behaving differently. It's really fun. So I've seen, not just physical things change, but I've seen people personalities change. And certainly I think it's because I've changed. So I have a different part of me that can see a different part of them or accept a different part of them. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And if if you have too much toner that you would like to lift off, the product, the main product is called Malibu Quick Fix. And the one that I ended up with, there's another one by a brand named Ion. The Malibu Quick Fix wasn't at the beauty supply that I went to, but this other one, Ion something something. Ion is like the brand, and I don't forget if they called it a quick fix or whatever. It's like the same product. I like to share things on here because I've noticed, like, when I tell these stories or whatever, sometimes people will ask me. So I'm just going to tell you that's what it is. But if you Google Malibu Quick Fix, apparently that's like the main one. It's like, was at least in my area, was not around. Um, But there's like others that are like the same thing, but that's like the search that you can do to get you. I noticed like that was the main product that came up. And then I took like that product and then like searched a little deeper and got one that was close to me. So if you're having toner issues, you just got your hair done. It's not too late. This channel is just, we're growing. We're talking about out of bodies and hair toner and bananas. If you watched my last video. I love that people had banana story, like people were eating bananas while they happened to be watching. Super fun. I've been eating bananas like ever since. That's my go-to fruit for the last like week or something. All right, so let me know in the comments if you try this out or if you already practice this, and I will see you in the next video.